What's New for Lunch today on MVY Radio. I'll bring you 2 new songs tomorrow at the same time as we do every single weekday. It's maybe one of the advantages you get from listening to MVY Radio is that you get to discover new music through What's New for Lunch or our Friday night show Uncharted Waters or through the curated playlists we have at mvyradio.org. Loads of ways to discover new music, and if we are your source for finding bands that you love, and think about the bands you discover them through MVY, that might be a reason for you to support us today during our summer fun drive. You can call 508-693-5001. You can go online to mvyradio.org/give. Our summer concert series begins today, all summer long. Every Tuesday we'll have live shows at the Winnetou in Katama at 6 o'clock. And every Wednesday that same artist will play at Mashpee Commons. And on top of having the live shows on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we always invite the artists into the studio to come hang with us. So today, kicking off our season, the first hello of the year goes to Laura Calista. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You brought your team.
I brought my team. My trusty parents are in tow.
You're gonna make a day of it on the vineyard?
Yeah, we went to Misty Meadows just
nice.
before this,
Uh-huh.
which is
Tell people what Misty Meadows is.
yeah, give them a shout out. I mean, it's new to me, but it's a horse center, and they do equine. I believe that's how you say that word.
Yeah.
Equine therapy
Yeah.
and camps and programs. And I mean, we were just there for about 20 minutes, but it was incredibly.
What motivated you to go there? Are you a horse
trustee
person?
Deb, our tour
Oh, Deb
guide.
took you there. Okay, well, Deb
yeah.
Dolliver, who's MVY's #1 volunteer,
Yes.
and is the I don't know what's the word is, concierge,
Yes.
Sherpa of MVY Summer
Spirit
Concert
guide.
Series, our spirit
Yeah.
guide. All right, so she took you to Misty Meadows. That's very cool.
Yes.
Were you a horse kid?
No, but you know, my boyfriend, his mom has horses, and you know, I've seen how that's been such a blissful source of connection. And I mean, I think the settings of horses are implicitly relaxing. They're in a big field, so I'm a big field girl. I spent my childhood in big fields. Playing soccer.
Playing soccer? That
little
kind of
different,
field.
yeah.
Where did you spend your childhood?
I was born in Kansas City, Missouri. I lived there till I was 10, and then I moved to the Bay Area of California. So that was my golden middle school years. And then for high school, I moved to Massachusetts.
All right. To what town?
Dennis on Cape Cod.
Oh, all right. So like literal Cape Cod.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, I think what we should do first is have you play a song, and then we can like talk about your music.
That'd be great.
All right. What do you want to do first?
I will start with Moontide,
Okay.
which is a song that we can talk about a little more after, but we'll just jump in.
All right. Go for it. This is Laura Calista. She's playing at 6 o'clock today at the Winnetou, tomorrow at Mashpee Commons at the same time for our summer concert series on MVY.
Awesome.
You write me a simple song, all about how you'll never do me wrong. Would you write me a simple tune, all about how you'll never treat me like a waiting moon? I've been alone on a cold, dark night. I felt the chill in my bones. I haven't gotten used to so many answers remaining unknown, remaining unknown. Would you write me a simple song, all about how together your heart and mind led you along? Would you write me a simple tune, all about today's weather, the ebb and flow of sun and fog? I've been known to cry the storm. Waterworks since the day I was born. I haven't Would you write me a simple song all about today's weather, the ebb and flow of sun and fog? Would you write me a simple tune all about how much better mid-July I've been treating you? I've been known on a cold, dark night, something inside of me frozen tight. I haven't gotten used to letting the sunlight roll through me like a moon pulled tide, a moon pulled tide.
MVY Radio, that's Laura Calista live in the studio. She's playing at 6 o'clock today at the Winnetou in Katama, and tomorrow at Mashpee Commons as part of our summer concert series. Okay, did it work?
I think it worked.
I want to know, like, when you wrote that song, did the person respond?
You know, that's a good question.
I want to know if
I don't really know exactly who I wrote it to.
Ah.
I think I wrote it to. Could be a person. It could
doesn't have
be
to be a
just
person, it could be the universe.
life itself, the
Yeah.
universe. You know, kind of. Sometimes you feel like you get a raw deal,
Yeah.
get sort of tossed aside, and you have a lot of ambitions, or aspirations, or desire, and it doesn't shake out for you. So you kind of long for it. So it's about longing, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Well, I'm not gonna tell you what it's about, but like,
What do you think it's about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there was like a lot of questioning, but also an amount of forgiveness in there. Like, you haven't given me what I want,
Yeah.
but like, there's some level of okayness in there.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I got, but I don't know. You actually wrote it.
I think that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I don't often think about these kinds of things when I'm actively writing it, but I can reflect on them afterwards. And I think there's kind of a push and pull to the way the song flows that, for me, conjures sort of like the moon tides and the longing and the acceptance of that not always unfolding the way you want, coming out in the wash of a moving tide. So I think,
Did you know about tides in Kansas?
Kansas
City.
Definitely not to the extent that I've learned. I didn't realize that the moon affects the tide.
I mean, like, this seems like a silly question, but when did you learn that?
That's such a good question. Probably when I moved here. And,
Yeah.
There's to the Cape, I should say, and there's different nature walks, and you have to be mindful of the tide, or otherwise you will get caught where you don't want to be caught. So that's probably when I learned, like, you track the tide, and that the tide impacts the landscape. It's basic, but.
And I have a friend, I don't want to call her out, but she was from I'm going to say a landlocked state. And I was saying, it was really hard to get off the steamship because the tide was really high because of the full moon. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you didn't grow up with that. That's not part of what you are. But like, that's now, as a songwriter, that physical environment that you're in is like in your brain.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love the moon and its symbolism, and its astrology and all that. So.
Oh, wait a minute. All right, are you into astrology?
I mean, I'm an amateur, but loosely enjoy it as an interpretive tool. Yeah.
Okay. And what have the stars revealed to you recently, or what should we expect if you're forecasting?
Forecasting?
Yeah.
I mean, they're always saying big changes are coming, so I'm expecting big changes.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Big changes are ahead.
Big changes are ahead.
Do you want to talk about where you found that voice?
My singing voice?
That's the one.
Well, my parents are both musicians in
Okay.
their own right.
All right.
And some cred. Both vocal abilities. My dad is a songwriter with guitar bass, and my mom is a theater person. So I definitely think I found it initially through musical theater. I was pretty obsessed with the musical Annie specifically. I had attachment.
I can see. Did you have to curl your hair? Did you
Well, I
curl
never
your hair?
got to be Annie,
Oh,
so that's
okay.
also maybe
Oh,
underlying
that's probably
all my
about that
music.
last song
The
was,
longing,
yeah.
you age out of certain
yeah,
things,
so
and
that's tomorrow, man.
I'll never let go of that. But maybe I've toyed with the idea. This is not actually a real idea, but there can be a future Annie, Annie when she's grown up.
Annie
That
Part
should-
2,
yeah.
The Revenge, or
Yeah,
whatever.
a modern day
Yeah.
Annie's in her 30s, let's say.
And she straightened her hair.
She's straightening her
Now
hair.
she's a billionaire and she has the products
Yes,
available.
she's doing all sorts of
Laura
things.
has very straight long hair, but there's like is there a hint of strawberry?
A
in
little
there?
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of Annie identification. But yeah, I was obsessed with musicals. I listened to all sorts of soundtracks, and I think that's where I started to learn to sing. And
Is that where you went on stage first? To
Yeah.
do production?
yeah, and then I think over time I would return to theater at some point, but at some point in high school probably I felt like I didn't like pretending that much to be characters, or I didn't.
Right.
Some of the choreography was a little humiliating, to be honest.
Yes.
So
I
I think I sort of
totally understand.
yeah, I sort of leaned into songwriting as, a little bit more playing myself.
Yeah, a vehicle for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're writing your own screenplay.
Exactly, yeah.
What do you want to do next?
Well, I'll do a song called I've Lost It Again, which is kind of about what it sounds like.
Just take it at face value?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Laura Calista. She's the first artist on our summer concert series. She's playing at the Winnetou today at 6 and Mashpee Commons tomorrow at 6 p.m. She's live in the studio on MVY.
I think I've lost it again, striking out to no end. I'm not a friend to myself, much less anyone else. I think I've lost it again. Been watching too many shows. They all go the same way. Oh, somebody loses, somebody wins. Everyone leaves, oh, covered in bruises. I'm looking for somewhere to go, somewhere beyond all that I know. I think I've lost it again. Every time I attach, every time that I latch onto someone or something, I recoil, anticipating the day that you leave. A heart withheld can't feel anything, no, not the pain of goodbye, not a sight of weary eyes. I think I've lost it again.
MVY Radio, Laura Calista live in the MVY Radio studios. Let's talk about writing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a person who is writing constantly fragments, or are you a person who is like, not writing anything now, I'll be writing next month? Like it's like you're in a period of writing. This is the writing period, and then it's not the writing period. Or is it like you're always like, oh, pulling things out and putting them in a notebook?
Yeah, I wish I could control it in a way where I could be like, I'm gonna dedicate this time to it, and something's gonna come of it. Maybe someday if I experimented with that approach, it would work for me. But it's a little bit more random. I mean, sometimes I'd say there's sort of two sides of it. There's a side that has the persistence of it, of always trying and hoping something will come together, and sometimes that yields fruitful songs, but definitely not always. And then there's the side that's like something really needs to come out, or something's been kind of brewing within me, within my emotional landscape or psychological landscape, and comes at once. So I would say the song I just played, I've Lost It Again, was that second category of just sort of, feeling a lot.
It was a fully formed, at least concept, if not the writing, but you knew what you knew what you were kind of getting at.
I knew that I was feeling something.
Yeah.
That was kind of intense, so it comes out in the song form to give it a little bit of externalize it and give it some form outside of, its internal intensity. But
are you writing with a guitar in your hand?
yes.
Yeah.
I'm typically writing with the guitar. Lyrics and melody are usually coming at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works best.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes a lyric idea will come to me, but I know some people are really real collectors of their lyrical ideas, and I don't know that that's how it works for me as much.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
You collaborate sometimes?
I do, yeah.
Do you write, collaborate as a writer?
A little bit. It's just a couple close friends who I've been able to have some success with co-writing. I haven't done a lot of co-writing. It's typically a pretty solo venture, and often requires complete solitude to kind of get out of my own way. But I collaborate in terms of recording, so yeah, that's a great outlet for collaborating for me. Yeah.
When do you know that a song is ready to come out of the bedroom or wherever it is that you're doing this alone? When do you go, okay, I better play this for somebody else?
I often keep them to myself for a long time.
I assume so, but eventually
Yeah.
you gotta let it free, right?
I
mean, would you do?
yeah.
Let me ask you this:
Mhm.
if you had a song and you're like, I think somebody else needs to hear this, would you play it for one friend, or would you try it out on a stage of
Maybe
strangers?
a little bit of both. I guess I'd say probably strangers.
Yeah.
Because just by happenstance, I mean, it is, when you have a collaborator, there's equal investment in what you're doing together, but at a certain point, I don't know how much your friends want want constantly to be receiving my songs, but I might be making assumptions about their receptivity to it. But yeah, I'm typically a little bit, I can be a little bit cat-like, sort of keeping it to myself until it's, until I have an opportunity to share it, and then I love sharing it. And it's, I have friends who their writing is typically like, oh, they're trying to write an album, so their songs are always kind of like the ones they're playing or in rotation are newly written, but mine are more so cataloged over many years, and I see kind of what still resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ready when it's ready.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of places do you like playing?
I love playing outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why? Because you're a field girl. We already
I'm a
established
field
this.
girl. Yeah. Wannabe horse girl. I just think I can take a lot of inspiration from the sounds of nature. Bird song. I love just being among trees and branches and the sounds of those. And also, it could have something to do with when you're outside, you're in kind of a white noise environment, and you can kind of, this might sound strange, but like the sound of yourself is a little bit more diffuse. So
yeah, absolutely.
you can kind of, you don't fixate on like, oh, that sounded not so good. You could just be in the writing mode and not the self-critic mode.
Yeah.
So that's helpful.
Being outside, this is what I think. When you're making any sound, it just goes out into the universe. Where if you're in the room, you're stuck with it.
Yes. Yeah, you're just sitting there looking it in the eye, and you're like, I don't know.
Well, I have really good news.
Uh-huh.
Your next 2 shows are outside.
I know. I've been really lucky this summer. Yeah.
So tonight at 6 o'clock, you're going to be at the Winnetou in Katama for our first show of the summer concert series, and then tomorrow night you're going to be over at Mashpee Commons for our mainland friends to come see you.
Yes.
I would love it if you did one more song before we wrap this up. What would you like to do?
This song is called Junebug.
All right, it's Laura Calista live on MVY.
I'm too tired for it to be this hard. The summer's on, but the timing's off. The only thing near me is a June bug, and they're just as weird as I am lost. If I stretch out my limbs, could I reach the rim? Peer over that cliffside shoulder and look out from the container I'm in, and look out from the container I'm in, and look out from the container I'm in. When I'm under attack, could I straighten my back? Stand tall and just weather it all. Could I be fine with that? Could I become the rain? Middle of the road, 1 foot in both lanes. Could I become the sky? My feet in the city, my head held high, 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 high.
MVY Radio, it's Laura Calista. You can find more of her music at lauracalista.com and also every place there's digital stuff.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Spotify and others.
You can also find my collaborative
Yeah.
music. Our band is called Hidden Meadows, so that's also on the streaming web.
On the internet.
Yes.
All right, you're going to be playing today at 6 o'clock and tomorrow at 6 o'clock here today in Hagertown, Katama, Winnetou, tomorrow Mashpee Commons.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And now you're going to go have a fun day with Deb Dolliver.
Oh, yes. More to come. Hitting the full tour.
All right. We'll round out the lunch hour with Andy Frasco. This is Crazy Things on MVY. Success.
Did it.
Very nice
Nicely done.
job.